Hey there. So with this rig, you can manipulate the arm in IK or FK at the same time. So if I grab the last control and start moving it around, you can see that I have my typical IK behavior. Sorry about the bad weighting, you can ignore that. But if I grab the FK control, I can also rotate it in FK, and all the controls are moving accordingly. So I can switch easily between IK and FK. And this is because in control rig, you can change the behavior of the rig depending of your manipulation. So when I'm manipulating this last control, I'm actually telling it to solve in IK. The way you can see that is because my IK solve is actually currently set to false, so it's supposed to be an FK interpolation. And I did something where if this shape is a sphere, I mean FK, if I toggle this is to be IK, it's going to be a square. So I can quickly see which mode I'm animating in. So you can see that when I'm translating the control, it briefly goes to IK and then pop back to FK. The way I do that in control rig, in my graph, this is the forward solve of this arm. The thing I do is I get the interaction, and if the control I'm manipulating is part of the IK, so either the IK control or the pole vector control, I then change the solve to be IK. If it's in FK, if it's one of the FK control, I then make sure that the solve is in FK. And when I go down here, I then have my branch to decide if I'm going to solve in IK or FK. Here I have my simple IK solve. And then what I do is I match the FK control onto the IK solve. Same thing for the FK. If I'm solving in FK, I'm solving the FK, and then I'm going to match the IK control on the FK control. So when I'm manipulating this rig, every time I manipulate in IK, it's automatically going to match those controls. And if I do it the other way around, it's also matching the IK control back on the FK solve. And I can do that for other places. So I did also that for the spine, where I can manipulate my spine in IK. But if I grab one of those controls, I can also rotate it as an FK chain. So this rig can be both IK and FK at the same time. One important thing to do when you do that is to make sure that you set your driven controls. So that means which control are going to be attached to which control. And this is to make sure that your auto key is working properly, so that when I move this one around, it's making sure it's keying these other controls as well. And that's it. This is an example of an IK FK rig in a control rig. Thank you.